I know that's still enough space.
Okay. Welcome everybody to Living Positive San Antonio. Today is November 24th, is that right?
Yes, sir. All day long.
2020. Today, we were supposed to have a special guest with Stacy Joe Clay, but she had an emergency, so she's not able to make it. But we are going to talk about HIV and depression. And with the holidays coming up, we're going to discuss that a little bit as well. Joining me up here on the dais is Santiago. Tell all about yourself, Santiago.
How you doing? No, I'm just kidding. Santiago, I'm 50 years old, still single as fuck. And I am with the Ryan White program, as well as ESHA in San Antonio, and part of the Syphilis Task Force. And I am one of the board members of Living Positive San Antonio.
And you, sir?
My name is Wayne Winches. I am also one of the board members here at Living Positive San Antonio. I'm active in the End Stigma and HIV Alliance and their peer mentoring program. I also sit on the San Antonio Transitional Grant Area Health Resources Ryan White Planning Council. I co-chair memberships, nominations, and elections with them, and I also co-chair People's Caucus.
And behind our camera is
John. Hi, I'm John. I have been, I want to reach out to you guys about, hold up real quick.
come on around here.
No, let me see.
You're good.
Hi guys. Okay, I'm just reaching out real quick, guys. If any of you guys have any, I have been sober for a little over 2 years now. And if any of you guys have any, maybe, do you guys think you guys might have a problem or any questions as far as sobriety goes? I would love to talk with you guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and post my number on the site, and we'll go from there. Bye guys.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate that, bro.
And our fearless leader is not with us tonight. He had an issue that he had to take care of, and our co-leader is hiding out somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. He actually has a class that he has to be at. And I'm Jason. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Directors for the Living Positive San Antonio. We're going to start out tonight with the numbers, and I just actually recycled. And our new numbers, we have 1,127 new cases here in San Antonio. Well, actually, San Antonio, Bexar County. We have had no declines in the last 2 weeks. In fact, we are in the critical phase in terms of the cases. Our testing capacity is still low, which means we still have good testing capacity. We have very good contact tracing capacity as well. Our hospital trends are up a little bit, but they are steady. Our doubling rate is actually low. It's not as bad as it has been. Positivity rate is severe. We're getting many new positive cases, and the hospital stress is moderate. Overall risk level is also moderate. Tonight we're going to talk about HIV and depression, which also includes, because a lot of people, it doesn't matter if you're single or not, when the holidays come around, depression can really affect somebody. I'm going to be honest, I'm one of those people. My son passed away in July of last year, and this year Halloween was really hard, partly because it was his birthday. Thanksgiving coming up, while there are a million things I'm thankful for my family. That includes my family here with Living Positive. I do miss being with my family because my family lives 5 hours or more away. So I want to spend the holidays by myself a lot. I know it's kind of hard for you also, for the holidays.
Yeah, it is. This is when I used to live out of state or out of the country. I would just save on my leave because I was in the military, and I would come just for the holidays to see my parents. Well, not just during the holidays, but try to save up enough. And that's the time I would come, spend time with mom and dad, and just be with them. Now that they passed away, going on 8 years. It's hard. It's still hard on me. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's hard, like he said, on him. When you're used to being with that certain person for a holiday, and it's a tradition that you've been doing it for such a long time, and then one day it just changes. You know, it's rough. Wayne?
What was the question?
How does it, I mean,
How does it affect me?
yeah. And does it get worse for you during the holiday season?
Actually, mine is slowly but surely getting better over the years because I've been dealing with no family, with no actual family for about 23 years. So it has gotten a little bit better with me because this is definitely one of the things I work on with my counseling sessions. So I still get it, not as severe as I did. And I've got a really good psychiatrist that has really helped me with my bipolar depression disorder. And so
I know.
I still get it, but for the most, I don't too often.
I do know that we both see a counselor, Stacy, who's
Yes.
here. And I have to be honest with that, she is probably a godsend for me because it allows me to talk about my feelings. And I do know that me dealing with depression, talking about it, again, I don't care if it's with friends or with a professional, I always feel better, and the depression seems to just kind of ebb away after I've talked to somebody about it. And do you feel the same way when you're talking?
Well, definitely with this particular counselor we talk about is the longest I've stuck with anyone, and I've been with her for 4.5 years now. So, and we actually just spoke about one of the things, which is called SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, and that's where the seasons affect your emotional health. And you can look at it, it's just simply spelled SAD. You can Google it. You can go under and read information and stuff on it. Triggers, helpful hints, things like that.
One of the things that actually I did know Stacey was going to talk about was triggers. You just mentioned triggers. Is there a specific thing that triggers for either one of y'all that triggers your depression? Is it a smell? Is it a person? What triggers your?
Mine is music. Music really music triggers me quite often.
And when you say music, is it more of a depression type music, or is it like seasonal music, or?
Music in general, but definitely more within the season. You know, as they start coming in, which is we're going into it right now, which is a lot of the depression starts at about this time of the year. You know, going in, everybody else is traveling. I'm not traveling. We're in a lockdown. What am I going to do? Oh, this friend doesn't want to do anything. That friend doesn't want to do anything. People are pulled different ways, and you spend a lot of time by yourself. This year, gratefully, no, I'm not going to be by myself. It may be a little bitty small Thanksgiving at my house, but it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. So I have something to look forward to. And look at my Christmas decorations.
Well, yeah. For me, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas was a big deal for me and my mother specifically. We love to decorate, put up our Christmas tree, put up our little turkey decorations for Thanksgiving. So for me, it's not having the ability to do that with someone that I love and care about, where I was with my mother. I want to point out that depression actually is the most commonly reported mental health disorder among people or not just Americans with HIV. It's affecting anywhere from 20 to 40% of the population. And it's obviously depression is linked with an increase of death in people with chronic depression.
Yeah, it is tough because I'm like, for me, I'm a family guy. I'm used to be, especially when I was with my ex-wife, there were at least 40, 50 of us together in one house. I mean, because we were just so close.
Was that Thanksgiving time?
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, and Christmas.
Yeah, so we were always together, and I really didn't care. Even like even though with Christmas, I didn't care if I got a gift or not. For me, it was about giving because for me to give one person a gift once a year wasn't really killing me, especially if I didn't see them throughout the whole year. So $5, $10, whatever. If I saw something, they say I was in Chicago and my sister broke her Chicago coffee cup, and I was there for something, I would just buy it for her because money came exactly from Chicago, but it was something that that she wanted, and we both shared because we're all from Chicago originally. So it's stuff like that. But now that my parents passed away, it's not the same. I understand everybody grew up and started doing their own thing, but it's not still family oriented as it was before. You know, now they have their own family, they're doing their thing, which is great, but for me, it gets really hard.
Do you think with COVID, and not getting this over this, do you think that's probably affecting more people and making it harder? Because you turn on CNN, the first thing they say is, do not get together, do not travel for Thanksgiving.
Yes,
How do you think that's affecting most people?
it is, and you know,
Especially people like us who love to be with family during the holidays.
because we're social and everything, you know. It's not that we're antisocial. We could be at some times if you're bipolar. But like my aunt brought my grandmother from Chicago, so she could be around family and we could help her out with everything because she's starting to go through dementia. But now she already told us we're not going to do anything together for Thanksgiving or Christmas. You know, she's already at age and they want her to last another 10 years, 15, 20 years, whatever. So as much as I really want to be with her or hang on with her with my grandmother, because I really don't know her that well, I can't, you know, because I do want to see her another 10 years, another 15 years, you know.
I want to read something that Daniel, I hope I say your last name right, and forgive me if I said it wrong, Daniel. It's Daniel Panetta?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Holidays for me are not always good, but learning to adjust and manage and self-heal and use counseling when needed. And I think that's very important is because you can't self-heal.
Yes.
But also find, I always say a counselor, but again, it can be a friend, even a stranger sometimes. You don't pour out to them, and it really does. It really does relieve the stress of depression, and you feel much better. I mean, I know there are some people out there who are going to have to take some form of medication for it because it's just that serious.
But one form of medication that we do honestly have right now, especially us three, we all have pets. You know, I might get mad at my dogs for doing this and just be hovering over me while I'm trying to do something, but they are my safety. You know, they do make me feel a certain way. You know, they make me feel loved. Even though I yell at them, they'll get off the sofa, stop making a mess. Yo. Right now, through these depression times, again, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas, those dogs being on my sofa or just being on me, hovering over me, I'm cool. You know, I would rather have somebody next to me, a human being, but them having to be around me is awesome. I know, you know, Milo being, you know, sleeping in your bed, or by your feet, or Wiggles jumping all over you, sleeping on top of your head, Wayne. I mean,
Here, in between.
you know, that's a great feeling, you know. But depression is really hard. And again, back to being HIV positive, because some of us are positive,
But you know,
it is hard.
I'm going to go back. I think a lot of the reason that people who maybe weren't, when I was younger, yeah, I had sessions of depression, but it really didn't get bad until I was diagnosed with HIV. And a lot of it has to do with you. When you're initially diagnosed, a lot of people literally are suffering from PTSD.
Yes.
And I mean, you've been hit by a bombshell. And you're suddenly, oh, God, what am I going to do? I know when I was diagnosed, it was like, how do I tell my family that I am going to be dead soon? That was what went through my head. And here it is, 15, 16 years later, I'm still here. But at the moment, it was like being bombed. How did you react when you were first told what?
When I was first,
Yeah, I mean, did that bring up
It was really-
depression or?
it was really strange for me because I think I was like okay with it because of all the friends that I had passed away and people that I knew. I was okay with it. I was like, okay, I'm going to go into treatment and do this and this and this and this. And then 6 or 7 months in, it started hitting me that everything that I knew about HIV and being diagnosed at 45 years old after making it through the pandemic and all that, and how bad it was. 45. So, and that's where it hit me hard. And for about a year, and now you don't have the bull by the horns. I mean, fight for anyone.
Do you think any of that depression helps fuel your addictions that you have?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And in what ways? Did you say that affected? Did you?
Which addiction or?
All of them. I mean, did it make you feel, by being depressed and getting involved with the addiction, that makes you feel like you were,
I think what
I
happened
don't
was,
want to use the word better, but
so like in my situation, the type of job that I have, I was not around a lot of, I mean, I was around tons of people, but they weren't friendships. There was lots of interaction. I managed restaurants, you know, and so I didn't watch a lot of TV shows like other people do at night, things like that. So I didn't have that connection with a lot of people. Well, once I tinkered off into the hardcore drug world, then I had friends. Everybody was ready to, you know, everybody shared, you know, and things like that. And so then, I have friends, what I thought were friends at the time. The biggest part of the depression, breaking that off, was realizing those are not friends, and I have to start completely over at a hard time in my life to begin with and try to make these friendships. And that goes back to, I don't know if John might be familiar with this, going through his 12 steps. There, a lot of times, is something that they talk about called a tribe. Have you heard that, John?
The tribe?
Tribe, like where you have to find your tribe. In other words, your tribe is you now have to break off all those unhealthy relationships, especially the ones that are connected with, all we did was drink together, all we did was do methamphetamine together, all we did was cocaine together, and things like that. You have to break all that out, and then you have to make this new set, the tribe, which a lot of people that go into, that are into mandated therapy or sober houses, or you're doing something sober on yourself, you still have to make this tribe around you. It has to be the new tribe, the healthy tribe. And this is the type of time of year that it's hard, but where you probably not get, you know, where you need to reach out to your tribe or kind of do another tribe, even if it is, you know, not always as solid as you want it to be during the year, but there's usually always someone you can go back in your time of recovery and things like that. That it was a shoulder that you leaned on, and I can almost promise, probably 8, 19 years now, even connect with them, and you're still going to be a shoulder to lean on, you know? And there might be someone that's not been a survivor as long as you have, or done what you have, it's behind you, and they're looking back to you because they need someone to lean on.
how long have you been sober? I know he said he's been sober a little over 2 years. How long have you been?
This 5, close to 6 years now.
That's good.
Wayne, was there a point in your addiction where you just wanted to be alone constantly, like towards the end of your addiction, before you got sober, where you just wanted to be alone with your substance?
For the last, I would say probably the last, because I was on methamphetamine and meth, and I was like Superman for a long, long time, held a job down and everything. The last year, and especially the last 6 months, because people are, why are you making that face? I'm not making no face. Yes, why are you doing your hands? I'm not doing that. And now I see people today, when I'm out and about, and I can go, and it bothers me. I go, you know, someone make a comment, I said, that's an addiction, that's a meth addiction right there. I know what that doesn't mean. And to think that I was out in a job, going to Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning, thinking like, y'all don't know. And I actually looked like a sideshow. So, yeah, and that was a lot of alone time, because when people start saying, hey, you do this, and you're going to argue it, that's not me. No, that's not me. It was me, you know.
When you first found out you were HIV positive, what do you do? Are there still people in your circle, within your realm, your orbit, that do not know your
Yeah, there's still some people, because again, it's not something they need to know. They need to know, and I've said this so many times. The person
family
that,
and friends?
yeah, there's still people that don't need to know anything about me, especially when I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
You know, especially as like my family. Yeah, I'm positive. Yeah, I'm bi. Some want to judge, and that's where I was going to go with that as well. Some want to judge you, and they kind of like hush you away. It's like, oh, now you let that black sheep. But because I'm gay or bi or because I'm positive, it has nothing to do versus you an ex-con, you pedophile, and you do this, but yet you're ready to judge me just because I'd rather sleep with a man,
Yeah.
or because I'm positive. So I really don't. But a lot of families, as soon as they find out, they don't care that, you know, oh, your cousin killed somebody, blah blah blah. But as soon as they find out that you're positive, they're like, oh, well, you can't come around the family, or this is like, get the fuck out of here. It's like then they weren't really your family. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's what you do. This is how I feel, because I had a big circle when I found out I was positive, and some of that big circle was like, there was nobody around. And that probably contributed to a more depressive state. And all of a sudden, all my friends had disappeared. They could live with the fact I was gay, but they could not live with the fact I was HIV positive.
Do you think it's because I don't know what your addictions were, but was it because maybe y'all were sharing the same needle, or?
Well, for me, I wasn't addicted, but for me, it was because I had lived in I was a professor, and I had a large social, educational
Right.
circle of friends. And, you know, we were always having some type of dinner party or something. Again, as soon as they found out I was positive, I got fired from my job, and all those great social events that I was going to evaporated. So, it just showed that they were only friends because either I could help them advance in their career, and that seemed to be some of it, or because they felt like, in some form or fashion, that I could help them out.
Right. Unfortunately, we do have those kind of friends that, and I wouldn't even call them friends, acquaintances, that I even have family members that when they want something, they're blowing up your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Yo, we need to hang out. They don't, yo, can I borrow $20? Oh, can you give me a ride to the airport, or this and that? But other than that, they're not, you know, hitting you up, wanting to hang out, you know.
Yeah.
And I hate that, you know, that I feel so used when they're doing that. But either that's the only time you're going to be able to hang out with them, or if they need something, then you know what, it's going to be a tick for tack. Well, you know what, I need something too. You want me to take you to the airport? You know what, I'm only got like $5 of gas, so I'm going to need $20 of gas. You know, because if you took the Uber from your house, that'll be $30, $40. So, you know, give me some gas money. So, but as far as family members, and again, you know, the holidays and being depressed and everything, you know, it's hard. You know, you want to be around your family, but sometimes you have to find your second family, or as I call it, your dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
You know, you get to hang out with your second family. You know, we're going to spend, like we did our Friendsgiving yesterday. And it was great. To me,
Yeah.
these guys are my family. There were a couple people that weren't there because either they have to work or their partner is still worried about COVID, which is fine. We're not judging here or anything.
Matter of fact, we want to tell you to be careful.
Yeah, we still want to tell y'all be careful. The good thing with us, we knew we were going to do this, so what we decided to do is all take a test. We all took a quick COVID test. A friend of mine has a COVID spot on the
Edgewood,
is it Edgewood?
right next to Kennedy High School.
Right next to Kennedy High School. He has a booth, and you go in there. They test you real quick, or actually they give you the stuff to test yourself, and you'll find your results in less than 12 hours.
We got ours in 24 hours. We took ours, you and I and the other person took ours on Friday afternoon, and I was the first one to get the email, or I got the text, and it was at a little bit before noon, and that's when I started calling.
Right.
Hey, I probably got results.
So me, Wayne, and his boyfriend, Wayne got tested, and a couple of the other guys went to other places and
So
everything.
when I got, Leo and I went and got tested again. Did the mouth swab
Yeah, and
on Friday, got it on Saturday.
And I also ordered another kit from pixellabs.com. So after the holidays, I'm gonna get tested again just to make sure, you know. But if you've been around these people and you know these people pretty well, I'm not saying don't. You know, you're taking that chance. You know, we take a chance every day. But family members are at a certain age or have some sort of health problems, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
I got invited to go out of town for Thanksgiving. Now I've been going there for the past 8 years since my parents left, since my parents passed away. I'm iffy because one of them is sick, and she got sick by her kids, and she doesn't even go out. She orders her food, or when the kids go pick it up from HEB and bring it back, she does not go out, and she still got COVID. So my thoughts, and I brought it to the guys, like, should I still go out of town and go have it with them, or should I just stay home and say something? But
If I knew I was going someplace where somebody had been sick or is sick currently, I probably would not go. I would stay home.
I did tell her, I gave her the link to for the free COVID test at home kit, and she's already been sick 6 days. So there's still that 10 to 14 day window. So I'm gonna see before I even decide to go up there. Did you get the test kit? Which she said she ordered it already, but did she get the results yet? It's my biggest question. If she got the results and say, hey, she's good, I'm bringing my freaking Tupperware.
I want to mention something real quick that Daniel and I mentioned also. And I actually like these. When you do something from depression, I find certain apps to be very good to help calm me and relax me. And he mentions one that I actually use. It's called Insight Timer. You can go either to insighttimer.com or I believe there's an actual app on Android. And they have everything from soothing music to soothing sounds. It just helps you relax. And when you're depressed, believe it or not, just making yourself relax eases the depression. If I'm depressed and I go to bed, I turn on my YouTube and they have like a channel for like rainstorms and things like that. Those things are very relaxing for me. So that's what I grew up around. At night I hear thunderstorms and rain, and I don't go through it. So yeah, and if you're suffering from PTSD, that's again something that can calm you down.
Yeah.
And again, when you find out you're HIV positive, it's like that. You're having PTSD, which leads to your depression. So if you can find something that calms you and soothes you, whether it's a service animal or just a regular pet, or something like Insight Timer, anything like that, that is worth more than I can tell you. I mean, seriously, because it makes you relax, it makes you be at ease. And another thing with depression, at least with me, it actually will trigger panic attacks in me.
I can see that.
Have you ever had that?
Oh, not during the holidays, but I might get that attack where I just start crying out of nowhere. I just might be watching TV and maybe something triggered, I don't know. And I just start crying and just start thinking of my mom or my dad or a loved one that I'm like, fuck, you know, I miss being around them. I miss that. But you also got to remember the good times when y'all were around, when y'all had turkey or y'all barbecued the turkey outside and it burnt, or, you know, the stupid shit you got to remember too. But with that, even with that said, you also have to remember to take your medication during your depression. You know, don't skip that medication.
And you know, and that's actually a major issue. When you get depressed, you don't want to take your blood pressure pill, you don't want to take this, and you definitely don't want to be taking your HIV medication.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what it is in the depression mind, but at least in mine, it's like, why should I block that? You know? But I will say this, I have always taken my HIV medication. I may miss my blood pressure, I may miss a dose of my insulin, but I have always taken my
Yeah.
HIV medication.
I mean, some with depression, I mean, it might be like weight loss change, sleep deprivation, anxiety, fatigue, worthlessness, and pretty much when you feel like, you know, you don't feel like nobody loves you, you just feel like shit. It's like, you just want to crawl in the ball and just sleep all day. You know, executive dysfunction and suicide. Just thinking about suicide thoughts. It's like, yo, nobody loves me, I'm here by myself. You know, that's when the holidays is the worst for a lot of people, especially if you're HIV positive, because again, you're going to that nobody loves me, I'm alone.
And when you're HIV positive, you have that, and people are doing this. I mean, they're literally telling, oh, you're HIV positive, you're worthless, you're. So you have a lot of stigma and shame attached to that. what makes the depression worse.
And let's say you are lonely, you know, you decide to get, you get on an app, and let's say you get on Grindr, Scrub, whatever the case may be, and you put on there that you're positive, and they're like, oh, you're positive. No, I don't want to date you. You're dirty or some shit. They'll come up with all these old phrases that people don't even use anymore, but they try to belittle you, so that makes you feel worse. So if that's going to make you feel worse, do not get on those apps during the holidays, because you don't want that bad juju. You want them to bring down your self-esteem of them telling you this, that, and the third. Just get off of it and go find something else. Go work out. Go to the mall. Go walk around. Do something that's going to uplift you. Water your flowers. Especially when we're in Texas and there's no snow here. Hey, go do that. But if you're somewhere else, Chicago, New York, go play in the snow or do snowballs that hit the car that you don't like. Some shit like that.
I had a thought. It just went flying out of my brain.
Oh, I brought up Grindr, you got all excited.
Grindr. That sounds about right. You're understanding Grindr. Well, I'll remember what I was going to say here in a second, maybe, hopefully.
I was going to jump in and say also at this time of the year, I think a lot of people who are having these depression issues might want to look at it another way. Find your purpose.
Right.
And find your purpose can be, your life all the time, or even just in times of need. Like right now with everything going on, you might be feeling lonely.
And if
Give
you're
some of
single,
your
it's even
time.
worse.
Give some of your time. We've got, this city there is such a large amount of lower income and food shortage and things like this right now. They're not having the Jimenez Thanksgiving thing that they normally have at the convention center that lots of people go to. I go to it just for the fact that it's a fun event. But this year they're not having it. So, find your purpose. Give some of your time. Deliver meals. That's the way they're going to do it.
Which is a good idea, because I was going to bring that up at the end. If you have a lot of leftovers at the end of your, say you have Thanksgiving during lunch and not during the evening, hey, pack some of that up, put them in to-go boxes, or just wrap it up and just take it to some homeless people. I mean, we all pass by a certain area where you see a lot of them together. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to make them feel wanted as well. I mean, it's better than just when you're alone with a whole bunch of strangers. But pack something up, a small little place, one little piece of cake, and just drop it to somebody and say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. It does not hurt. I did that like 3 years ago. My family didn't really like my turkey. I loved it. But there was still some there, and I put it all together, and I was about to drive out of town to another Thanksgiving dinner. And I saw a homeless guy, and I just put it together, and I just gave it to him. And he said, hey, happy Thanksgiving. He goes, thank you, I was hungry. Can you buy me something? Yo, I got you. I went and bought him a soda. Hey, have a good one, bye. I got in my car, drove 70 miles, went to another place, and got 8 more.
That's a good way to fight depression, as a matter of fact, because you're doing something for your fellow man.
Right.
You're doing something for, I don't know how many people are religious I am. You're doing something for another one of God's creations, and by sharing what you have, especially if you have an abundance of it. Instead of taking it home and letting it sit in your refrigerator for 30 days and then throwing it out, give it to somebody that
Just pay it forward.
Getting out of yourself, getting out of your head, that definitely does help with depression.
And I'm serious, when you do something like that and you walk away feeling 1,000% better about yourself, and you've done something to help a fellow human being.
So do something for others.
Yeah.
I love it.
I get better homes and gardens magazine. I know. I didn't say
Wait, what?
Better Homes and Gardens.
You give people?
No, I get the magazine.
Oh, yeah, I was like, what?
And I don't really read the articles there. I just basically look at recipes and things like that. And for some reason, this last issue, I was like, something caught my attention. And I read the whole article, and I really liked it, what it was at the end. And it was a lady that said, and she had a big footprint in her neighborhood, helping people. And the last thing that she said, it quoted in the paragraph, I really liked it. It says, give 2 hours of your day to someone else, and the other 2 hours of the other 22 hours of your day will definitely be happy and make you a better person.
Definitely.
That's
Love
a
that.
nice little quote.
I like that one too.
Is that something that Confucius would say?
It was, I can't remember the name of the lady or anything. I know that she was in, where was she at? I think she lived in Yonkers, which is just south of Queens, New York, I think. And she was helping that neighborhood because it's been really hit with the COVID and, you know, and a food crisis and things like that.
You know, with this whole COVID, I know it's already hard enough as it is. You know, we miss birthdays. I mean, I know I missed my birthday in June. Right?
And I'm sorry, this whole COVID thing is a trigger for depression.
Right.
We talked about this earlier. Having to isolate yourself is a trigger, especially if you are someone who enjoys being social and socializing. So this whole COVID thing is like, go ahead with what you're going to say.
No, you're right. You know, this whole COVID thing is it was I think this was the worst year for everybody. You know, if we could erase 2020, hey, or redo it again, I'd love to, because it messed it up for everybody. You know, birthdays, unfortunately deaths. You know, you ever gave the number of how many deaths we had. You know, people that should not have passed away.
In fact, over 250,000 in the United States alone,
Right.
since the beginning of this. I mean, yesterday, just in the United States, there were 1,800 new cases, and probably, no, I'm sorry, 1,700 to 1,800 deaths. And then, if you think about it, that's a lot of people. That's 1,800 people that should not be dead.
Exactly.
I was thrown for a loop the other day. I was sitting there and everybody knows I was glued to MSNBC, and I said, surely I heard that wrong. I flipped over to CNN, and because John Hopkins puts out their number every year, I mean every day at the same time. My baby. And it had jumped in 5 days from 11 million to 12 million people. I said, surely I heard that wrong. We went back 5 days, 11 million. We went from 10 million and something to 11 million in 3 days, and then from 11 million to 12 million in whatever in 5 days. That's how bad, and that's in the USA. It's not in the world.
Yeah. And, well, here in Texas, we have in excess of 1 million people who have contracted. I'm not sure how many we've had within the state of deaths, but we have the highest number of COVID cases in the country.
Yep.
And I will say this about the central and Bexar County area. Our cases are not as high as Dallas or Houston, but we can get there if we don't follow the guidelines that have been set up for us. And 6 feet.
Yeah, you know, and even today, we're still practicing. We have our masks. We came with our masks. You know, we got the 6 feet apart. You know, we're not preaching to you. We practice what we preach as well. We wear a mask. We're social distancing. Yeah, we got together last night, but yeah, we're still far apart.
We
You know,
need the social
and
distancing
again,
there.
and we test each other, or we don't test each other, but we get tested as much as we can. You know, especially when it's free. There's no reason for you not to get COVID. There's free sites everywhere. You just gotta look for them, go get tested, and you know.
If you're scared to leave it home, you don't even have to leave home. There's one that'll come to your front door within 24 hours of getting it through Pixel Corporation, and FedEx will drop it off right at your door.
And I think they'll pick up as
They'll
well.
pick it up the next day.
So, but you know, like we said, you know, whatever helps you not to get depression, then use it. You know, if you like to cook, hey, go make a whole bunch of cookies. How much is that going to cost you to?
And then turn around and give it away.
Yeah, then give it away again. You know, and you know, like I said earlier, you know, give it to your neighbor, send it to your neighbor. You know, put it in their mailbox if you don't want to actually do direct contact. Or if you see homeless people, or if you're driving around, just if you have those bags behind you, hey, pass it by there. I mean, there's a large gathering by Cub. It's Church Under the Bridge. There is little tent community. I forgot what it's called. Is it tent? Is it called? It's like a small little tent city because there's a lot of them right there. Even under the bridge right there, I forgot what bridge that is, or it's under the highway. Drop them off. Go to Safe. You know, give them to some of the clients there. Just drop them some cookies, drop off some food on Thanksgiving. They're gonna appreciate it, and it's gonna make you feel good. It's gonna make you feel, you know, awesome.
They will, and again, it's a good way to fight depression. All right, if anybody out there suffers from depression, let us know how you handle it. Let us know what you do to self-control or bring your depression under control.
Cooking, gym, walking, spending time with your loved one, spending time with your dog, you know, whatever helps you out. I think Milton wrote something earlier. I'm sorry, I'm trying to share some of this with other LGBTQ organizations, so that's why I've been on the phone just sharing this.
Actually, something Milton said, and it is like we talk about being depressed during the holidays. There's some people that the holidays bring them out of depression. Milton happens to be one of these people. He said that when he first tested positive in October of 1987, the holiday season actually helped him deal with the diagnosis. And for some people, the holidays will actually have the opposite effect. And a lot of it probably has to do with it's a time where people are happy, where people get together and socialize. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be with your blood family. You can be with your family of choice. Oh, Daniel was mentioning burn and cleanse with sage.
That's pretty good. Y'all see my sage on my door, or y'all saw it?
Yeah.
You know, I have some sage because I mean, maybe sometimes that's the time what you got to do if you believe in stuff like that.
Yeah.
You bless your house or call a priest.
But you know, it's where I don't necessarily believe in that, but the scent of sage kind of, I guess, reacts with my receptors, and it helps me relax.
I have one of those little rooms. I think something I was with you when I got that little thing, about $14. You put water in it. I put sage in it sometimes tea tree, and it smokes.
Oh yeah.
It fills the room, and it helps.
Candles. Like my niece loves candles, so I just bought her a candle and I gave it to her because it helps her relax and everything. That's good. I mean,
Matter of fact, the one that what's his name was burning last night, Mark. What scent was that? It was a very relaxing scent. There was
what was it?
Lavender?
Lavender?
I don't remember what kind it was.
It was like a cinnamon apple. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a holiday scent, but it was also very relaxing.
Oh, that was in my house.
No, this was last
Well, I got that one too. But yeah, I mean, those scented candles. I mean, lavender. Lavender.
Lavender actually, yes. Lavender is actually scientifically tested to help you relax.
You know, I like that there's so many different candles. I just find them very expensive. But, you know, get an apple pie flavored candle. I mean, that's going to make you feel warm and Christmassy or stuff like that. There's my favorite, like a cinnamon apple.
Yeah.
One I have in my living room. In my bathroom, I have like a forest pine. You know, it's more of a Christmassy type that smells really good too. You know, anything that makes you feel good.
Do you know what it said? And I would love to find a candle that says, it's a smell that I love. For me, it brings back good memories and good thoughts, and that's the smell.
Oh, you get that one? Oh,
No, smell coffee in the morning.
oh, there is one.
Fresh brewed coffee. It reminds me, because when I was a kid, I would lay in bed and I would listen for the sound in the kitchen of my father getting the coffee pot.
The percolator.
And and as soon as I'd hear him getting the coffee pot, I would run to the kitchen. And, he looked like he was 20 feet tall, and he'd get over and pick me up and say, "How's my little man this morning?" And that's just a great, relaxing, wonderful memory for me. So and that's another thing that's a trigger, smell.
And the smell
Certain
trigger.
flavors, yeah. And coffee happens to be one of those for me. And talk about apple cinnamon, that reminds me of my grandmother cooking pies during Christmas and Thanksgiving. So you can have triggers that will also lead to the trauma of depression, but you can also have triggers that will lead to the happiness of the season. So, And he goes, "What's your trigger? Son, what's your trigger?
Butter cookies.
Peanut butter cookies?"
It's the mascot.
Yeah, I'm talking to Senior Wiggles here about it.
Ooh, I'm getting jealous of this. Ooh, goodness, we almost said this now.
So,
But again, you see, I mean, just having a pet around you, I mean, it just makes you laugh. It just makes you forget of certain things.
I mean, I realize that with HIV, it's really difficult to have a cat. We discussed this because of certain, I guess, chemicals that come off from your feces and things, and their urine.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, me having a dog, my dog Milo, not only is he good for like PTSD stress, he also wakes me up at night if my blood sugar drops. I guess he senses that odor because your body gives off an odor when your blood sugar drops, and he'll wake me up. And there have been a few times where literally he has woke me up and my blood sugar is like 30, 37. And had he not woken me up, I could have moved on to a diabetic coma. So yeah, having an animal is good for stress, for depression, medical needs. So I recommend them if you suffer from depression.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, like you said, there's something with the cat, the urine, that does affect somebody that is HIV positive. I can't remember what it actually is, but I know it's in the urine. But even with people that own dogs, the poop has something in it too. So when we clean it, we have to make sure we wear gloves and we clean it and not to be around because that feces could affect our health.
Yes.
So keep a clean yard.
It's one of those double-edged swords where the animal is so good for your mental and physical health, but yet there's certain things that they give off that are not so good
Right.
for our health. So you have to weigh that to see which outweighs the other. In my case, the mental health issues with my dog and the actual physical medical needs outweighs. And plus it's household, so I don't have to worry about it.
You just open the door.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
just-
that's all Wayne does. He just opens the door. Mr. Wiggles just run downstairs, does his thing, and comes back up. I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I live across the highway, so I can't. You know, just be mindful. Again, our number or the main number is online. You can contact one of us or hit us up. I mean, y'all know I'm Gypsy Malo, Jace, Wayne, Mark, John, Leo. You know, hit us up. We're all tagged in there. Even Richard. Say, hey, Santiago, I need to talk. Or, hey, Mark, I need to talk.
And this is a time of year where truthfully, you need to talk if you're suffering from depression. Because like he said earlier, depression is, I think, the highest reason for people committing suicide.
I mean, I don't have the numbers to give you a quote.
Yeah.
It's the highest numbers, you know, under
I
depression
saw
for
something.
HIV.
I
You know,
saw
I'm
something
not
a
gonna
little
give
bit
you
earlier, I
something
thought
like
I
that.
forgot.
But we need to take care of each other. I mean, if you know somebody else that's HIV positive, hey, call them up, say, hey, you know, just checking up on you. You know, let's do the buddy check. You know, what happened with that? We used to do it. You know, we should still continue, not just during the holidays or not just during the time period. We should do it all the time. It's like, hey, Carlos, how you doing? Hey, Mary Helen, what are you cooking? Sylvia, you know, whomever. You know, Milton, you know, I saw you today during lunch. How you doing? You know, whomever. Be friendly. You know, you being nice to somebody or just saying hi to somebody just might brighten up their day. Especially if they're having a really shitty day. And again, going back to homelessness, if they're homeless or they just went through something, you know, just be nice. Just say hi, hello, hey, you look good. I like that shirt on you. You know, that's going to make that person feel good. I'm not telling you to lie, but if you tell them, hey, yo, it looks like you lost weight. Hey, it might make them feel good. If you told me that, I'm like, yo, thank you, bro. But, you know,
Well, we have been saying that, I'm saying
but, you know, your hairline looks good, you know. It looks like you grew a hair. Look, you have a mustache. Nice. No, just kidding.
I like your haircut. It looks
I like
good.
your haircut. I like your haircut, Richard. That's a good color on you. I mean,
On my beard?
on your beard. It's just, again, we're laughing, we're giggling. It's
And
all in fun.
And matter of fact, this is actually a depression relief right here for us. I think for all of us. To be able to get together and not just joke, but also be informative. It comes down to that giving to your fellow man type situation. Hopefully our stories and our lives can help somebody else. So, yeah. I wanted to do something here. We're talking about the suicide. It says people with HIV suffer from depression, and it's usually caused by shame, trauma, substance abuse, and it casts a wide net. And doesn't say the percentage, but it says, actually this is in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, depression and HIV together is one of the highest, or is the highest for suicide rates. So, again, they give a percentage, so since it's high, I'm going to assume it's above 50%. So, if you have HIV and you have depression, please talk to somebody. I would strongly recommend a professional, but if you can't get to a professional, talk to one of your friends, talk to somebody in your family. But definitely talk about whatever is making you depressed, because I guarantee you, if you think about it, you know what inside is really making you depressed and what's really bothering you. And you should talk about it. So, were there any special announcements you wanted to make?
The bazaar is going to be.
No. We have a bazaar coming up, so we're going to check that.
So I want to jump in also before that. Here at Woodlawn Point, December the 1st, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., we are doing World AIDS, or not we, the church is doing World AIDS Day here from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can stop by, the auditorium is going to be open. Mark, is there a health fair with that?
I don't know yet.
So I'm assuming there's probably some type of health fair. There's also going to be areas where you can light candles for those that have lost their battle with HIV/AIDS.
That's Monday. This coming Monday.
Yes. No, Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this coming Tuesday, December the 1st,
And that's
Matter of
what-
fact,
4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
if you even want to bring a picture, we can post it for you for World AIDS Day. And, especially if you lost somebody, and we'll post it up for you. We'll give our respects as well.
Send it to our webpage, our Facebook page.
The Holiday Arts, Craft, and Gift Fair, it's on Saturday, December the 5th. It starts at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And that's here at Woodlawn Point, correct?
Yes, here at Woodlawn Point. And also on Friday, December the 11th at 8 p.m., we have a very Merry Christmas drag show going on. Tickets are $10. You can buy them online. All you guys do is go to the Woodlawn Point webpage and buy your tickets there. I'll put a link later on tonight or tomorrow on it also. And we will have, Living Positive will have a raffle going on.
I know we have a wreath. What else do we have?
We have a wreath, we have a bottle of Sky Vodka, we have a bottle of wine, and we have another one that I have not seen yet. I will announce later on when I find out what it really is, and we'll go from there. And those are, tickets are $1 for the raffle tickets, or $5 for, what is it?
No,
Or
$6 for
$6
$6 for $5. So, you show up and support Living Positive, of course, support the Woodlawn Point. So that's it on my end.
Okay.
There'll be a donation bucket there if you want to just give a donation and you just don't want to buy anything. Hey, anything helps. 30 cents, 50 cents, 25 cents. We take EBT card and MasterCard as well. But we do take MasterCard and credit cards.
Yeah. One last thing, I'm going to give another shout out and congratulations to our President-elect, Joseph R. Biden Jr. and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Congratulations. I think only 56 more days until Inauguration Day and a new administration. So, again, congratulations to them. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday, 7 to 8. And we'll be here live on Facebook. Thank you, everybody.
Post any of your Thanksgiving pictures online if you want. Thank you. We love you. Happy Thanksgiving. Wayne?
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Don't cut off yet. There, now you can.
Stupid. Come over.
I don't know. Finish.
Quickest drive.